Well, hello there. Today I'm going to give you 10 things that you absolutely must know about the Founding Fathers before you use them to fortify an argument. Before I get started, I want to make it absolutely clear that we can all admire our founders' achievement of creating a nation based upon the will of the people. They stood up to the most powerful government and navy in the world at the time and said, "We deserve representation, and anything short of that, and we'll walk." In some of the most beautiful words ever put to a page, they declared that all people are endowed with certain inalienable rights, and they stood up for those rights, no matter what it cost them. I think it is fantastic that so many Americans try to embody their spirit and build upon their vision. However, we run the risk of cheapening their achievements when we throw around the phrase, "the founders would have wanted," or "the founders clearly intended" for such and such to be so. If you're going to use the founders' intentions in an argument, you absolutely must know at least a few things about them, the Revolution, and the Constitution. First, when one invokes the phrase, "the Founding Fathers," one is generally referring to George Washington, John Adams, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, Benjamin Franklin, John Jay, and a few other giants of the time, pretty much anyone who was present in the Constitutional Convention or in the Continental Congress during the Revolutionary War. Second, while we're at it, you should know that Abraham Lincoln had nothing to do with the Revolutionary War or the Constitution. The Constitution was written in 1787. Abraham Lincoln was born in 1832. Third, in case fact number 2 has thrown you into a loop and you're questioning your mental map of the 19th century in America, the last president who had anything to do with the Revolutionary War was James Monroe. James Monroe was president from 1817 through 1825. Fact number 4. George Washington may have led the largest protest in American history, but once the new nation and Constitution were established, he was at the helm of the ship of state, he had very little tolerance for protest and chaos. He personally led the suppression by the military of the Whiskey Rebellion, ironically a rebellion against taxes. High taxes may have helped to spark the American Revolution, but Washington did not believe that taxes alone were cause enough for disobeying the government and the law. This brings us to fact number 5. Thomas Jefferson, when it came to law enforcement, went the opposite way of Washington. Jefferson believed that having a standing army at all was a threat to individual liberty, and he pared the Navy down to its bare bones, even though the War of 1812 was looming in the future. It is very likely that Jefferson would not approve of the enormous military the U.S. has today. Fact number 6. While most of the Founding Fathers were Christians of some sort, they did not envision a government founded on the church. They believed in separation of church and state, as one corrupts the other when they are too close. Many of our Founding Fathers were deists. They believed that God created the earth in the same way that a clockmaker creates a watch. You create it, and with all of its intricacies, and you let it run, and it just runs its course. The idea of a Christian nation would have been ludicrous to many of our founders, who did not think that God would trouble himself with the petty affairs of state. Fact number 7. George Washington did not believe in political parties. He thought that the country should rally around a central leader like himself, and he feared that parties would lead to resentment and inaction. Fact number 8. In his farewell address, Washington warned against foreign entanglements. He did not picture America as the world's policeman. Fact number 9. Our founders were not saints by any means. Those who didn't own slaves chose national unity over fighting for the abolition of slavery. Ben Franklin's romantic affairs were no secret. Many founders abused drugs such as cocaine. Thomas Jefferson and James Madison betrayed John Adams' friendship to secure the presidency for Jefferson. They were not perfect heroes. This brings us to fact number 10, and this is one of the most important things to know about the Founding Fathers. They didn't actually have a unified vision of the future. Like so many brilliant people, they had conflicting ideas and felt very passionately about them. Their political battles often got nasty and personal. The country seems politically polarized today, and it is very tempting to think of America's infancy as benefiting from the founders' wills and ideas as if they were all in accord, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. Yet, despite the conflict that the founders experienced with each other, when push came to shove, they compromised. They came together for what they believed to be the good of the people, right or wrong. That is the spirit we should be invoking when we try to bring the founders' intentions into our debates.